Yeah, we in the Rapology mobile right now.
Why do you make hip-hop music?
Do you want to know my name first?
No.
Why does Marco Polo make hip-hop music? I make hip-hop music because when I was in elementary school, I heard looking at the front door by Main Source on the radio, and I wanted to know what the exquisite sounds were and these drums, and it made me very excited about hip-hop, and started getting into it. And then I wanted to find out where they were getting all these records from, and that's what led me ultimately to going to school for music and making beats.
If you could choose 3 albums that are required for the younger hip-hop generation to listen to, what would they be and why?
3 albums everyone should hear. Electric Relaxation was off of Midnight Marauders. So A Tribe Called Quest, Midnight Marauders, that's hip-hop production perfection at its finest. Introduction to jazz breaks, just one of the best groups of all time. Gangstar, Moment of Truth, that's just because that's my favorite album of all time, so I feel like everyone should hear it. And Wu-Tang Clan, 36 Chambers. That's just a very different New York classic album, once again with one of my favorite producers, the RZA. So those 3, can't go wrong with those 3.
What was hip-hop's best year?
The year that Midnight Marauders came out, was that 1994?
I think so.
1994.
Who's your favorite new hip-hop artist?
Who's my favorite new hip-hop artist? Good question. My favorite new hip-hop artist is a group out of Ontario, Canada, not quite Toronto, called First Division. 2 MCs by the name of Shiloh and Expertise. They got a new album dropping, shameless plug, or Overworked and Underpaid, with a DJ Premier produced single called This Is The Time, so check for First Division.
Who's the most underrated artist out now, in your opinion?
Who's the most underrated artist? I'm going to switch it and say who's the most underrated producer, and that would be Knots. That guy is not human, and I feel like he should be more known for the insane creations he comes up with. Shouts to Knots.
Who's your most, if you could collaborate with any artist dead or alive, who would it be?
If I could collaborate with anyone dead or alive, I would have to go with Nas. He was like top tier, you know, one of my favorite MCs, and still is. And lyrically, I still don't think there's a lot of people that can mess with him. So Nas.
What's your favorite hip hop beat of all time?
My favorite hip hop beat of all time is so tough. It's gonna be a DJ Premier beat. It's just which one. It always changes. I'm gonna say Nas is like.
What is your favorite guilty pleasure artist or song?
ASAP Ferg, Shaba is a guilty pleasure. It shouldn't be though, it's just a good song, but you know, for all the boom bap heads, they probably wouldn't expect me to say that, but I love that song.
If you could go on tour with anyone, who would it be and why?
If I go on tour with anybody, it would be my man DJ Premier, because we had a few tours together and had a crazy time. He's a great wingman. Shouts to Primo. Took a couple for the team in Australia for me, so hopefully we can get back on the road together.
What is your craziest tour story?
My craziest tour story is actually the same tour when I was in Australia with Master Ace and Beatnuts and Primo. Backstage, somebody stole my Stussy leather jacket, which had my iPhone with my whole brand new album that hadn't dropped yet, and my digital camera. This is the first night of the tour, and I was pissed. And I came storming out the backstage, and Juju saw me. He's like, "Yo, what's wrong?" I was like, "Someone took my shit." He kind of ignored me and like kept walking, and I was like, "All right, whatever. Maybe you didn't hear me." You know, and I spent the next couple of hours with all the homies eating and just depressed, and they're trying to tell me, "Yo, this shit happens." Get back to the hotel, I get a call to my room, and Juju's like, "Yo, come to my room real quick." I go up to the room, and he's like, "Yo, here. Got your jacket, I got your phone, I got your camera, Merry Christmas." So shouts to Juju of the Beatnuts for saving that tour and being one of the best people I've ever met in my life.
Name one place in the world you would visit if you could.
Name one place in the world I would visit if I could. Well, I would have to pick a place I've never visited, so I'm gonna say Brazil. I would love to visit Brazil because I've never been there or performed there.
I'll go with you.
Okay.
I've been there. What is your favorite city away from home?
My favorite city away from home. Good question. My favorite city away from home is probably Milan, Italy. Shouts to my boy Bassi. Best food in the world. Italy.
Who's the baddest chick of all time?
Who's the baddest chick of all time? There's no. I got so many that I like, but I'm just gonna randomly say Stacey Dash because she keeps aging. Like I feel like as she gets older, she gets more beautiful and sexy. So shouts to Stacey Dash.
Why Newports?
Why Newports? I don't know. Started smoking them when I moved to New York 14 years ago, and I've been with them ever since. They're just a real strong cigarette. I hate menthol except for Newport, so I don't know. They just kick you in the back of the throat.
What's your favorite food?
Favorite food is definitely pasta. I'm Italian. Parents were born in Italy. It's in my blood. I grew up eating that, and that's my comfort food, pasta.
Favorite drink?
Favorite drink? Well, seeing I've been clean and sober from alcohol for 20 plus years, I'm gonna have to go with, I don't know, man, ginger beer.
Who makes the best coffee?
Definitely the best coffee I've ever had is in Italy. They make well, they don't even call it espresso there. It's just cafe, but espresso-based coffee in Italy is the best coffee, with second place going to Australia. Those are the two best coffee places in the entire world, based on my travels.
What is your favorite movie of all time?
What is my favorite movie of all time? Anchorman.
What is your favorite TV show of all time?
Arrested Development is my favorite TV show of all time.
What is a typical Marco Polo day?
Typical Marco Polo day is get up, run the steps in the park, get a little exercise in. This is a new thing, by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
All right, you know what? Scrap that. A typical Marco Polo day, you can keep it, but what it used to be, get up, go get coffee, a large red eye to be precise, which is a large drip cup of coffee with 2 shots of espresso in it. Have a couple Newports and go to the studio and just kind of wake up and listen to music, and we'll start making beats till about, it starts around 9 a.m., goes to about 7 p.m., eat dinner, chill, sleep, repeat process 6-7 days a week.
Were you ever suspended from school, and why?
I was suspended for school a few times for regular things like skipping, but also for selling cigarettes out of my locker, for selling weed, for fighting, a lot of dumb shit, man. I look like a skinny dude, but I was a little shit back then, man. I actually hated high school, so yeah, I got suspended quite a few times.
What was your first job?
First job was delivering a really, really shitty local newspaper in the Toronto area called The Liberal.
What was your first car?
I've never owned a car in my entire life. That's very unwrap of me to admit something like that, but when I moved to New York, it just wasn't feasible to buy a car and deal with all the parking, insurance, so MTA and Uber life, yo.
If you could smack anyone in the face, who would it be?
If I could smack anyone in the face, who would it be? Probably that white kid that just shot up a bunch of people down south. I'd like to smack him in the face.
How do you want to be remembered?
I would love to be remembered as somebody who contributed music that touched people in some sort of way. I'll be happy with that.
Emotionally?
Physically, emotionally, mentally, however it touched them, as long as it made them feel a way. Even good or bad, that's the whole point of music. It's supposed to make you feel something. So if I've created something that made somebody feel good or bad or anything, then I was doing what I wanted to do.
Which album or project did you have the most fun making, and why?
Which album did I have the most fun making? It was probably Port Authority, the first one, because I was so new to New York, and I was working with all my heroes. I was going to Cool G Rap's crib, and Buckshot was coming over, and Large Professor. And I was so new to it, I didn't know what I knew about the industry now, so I wasn't jaded or bitter, or I was just so happy to be making music in New York, like some nerdy kid from Toronto moved to fucking Brooklyn and is working with my hero. So I had a blast recording that album.
Do you have any shout outs or future projects you want to plug?
Yeah, I want to shout out Rapology for talking to me. It's always a good time with you guys. Just all the homies, Master Ace, Torre, Skiz, First Division. You know, producers that like to make beats, go to www.marcopolobeats.com, buy my drum kits. It's like literally the sounds I use to make all the beats that I've been making my entire career. It's called Pad Thai Volume 1, Volume 2. And anyone that supports my music.